dustin'. Yeah, latex on my. Go clean my crown. My haters from way up here. They don't make a sound. Body goes on these. White paint on my toes. When I send a new bay alert, gon' be mad. Jumping in the bed, then I switch to the ghost. Like, who's you? Remember this face, cause I'm that you gon' lose to. Dripping in ice, you looking at you. It's squad goals win. Are you pretty like no?
I never anybody, but I got something to do with that. I got the streets on my back, carry it like I'm moving the. I told him the 100, like he trying to move it up. It was like 11 in the morning, skipping school, that's a truancy about it. I made me some rest in the morning, I had me a by the morning, I had me some breaks by the morning, I had a six by the morning, I got on a meat on the morning, the rats keep me up on the podium, I had a in my shoulder, you got a bitch, jumping in the bed with 2 dark teeth, and who's you? My shawty pulling up with a real bad, you too, dripping my swag.
And, Coach, we are down on the Bayou as you get a look inside the Mercedes-Benz Superdome here in New Orleans. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Oakland Raiders and the New Orleans Saints. Here's the kicker, Zane Gonzalez, ready to get this one started. And we are underway from the Superdome. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Gun!
On 1st and 10, Darnold. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. It'll be a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so, and gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it, and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Off of play action, Darnold. He sets to fire deep. This is caught inside the 15. A big-time play there for New Orleans. 55 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
A first opportunity upcoming in the red zone for the Saints. They're looking at a first and goal from about the 9. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
Moved back to the 10. They'll try on second and goal here.
We got three. Over. Gun.
Here's Darnold. Eluding the pressure right. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at third down. Maybe the first big test of the season here on both sides. This is third and goal.
Gun.
The shotgun snap for Darnold. And too much on that one. It's out of the back of the end zone, incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So an opening drive field goal maybe doesn't whip this crowd into a frenzy, but I think that they will take the early lead.
There's no doubt about it. They will always take the early lead, and maybe that celebration comes later if they play well and they can break things open. But right now, this is all about letting the offense just get settled in.
Let's go. Green 39.
On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
Green 39.
On second down, here's Barkley. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
Over. Detroit.
Play action now. Here's Mayfield. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Justin Reed. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. Well, what do you think? You get the ball off the turnover near the middle of the field. You take a shot here in the first play?
You know I'm big on that. I love when I have great field position after a turnover. I feel like I might have them a little bit off balance. I prefer to take a shot, but a lot of coaches will tell you only do it if you trust the guy who's got the football in his hands. Meaning, if it's not there,
man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. A great effort there. Taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead. Extra point from McManus is good. And the lead grows to 10-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Raiders offense now, they trot back out, and following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
No, check, Patriot! Over! All right, now, lucky 56.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 40. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Darnold. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Even in today's NFL, when we think of the tight end position now as really a glorified wide receiver, we're still asking a lot of those guys. They have to block as well, and every now and then, they don't come down with the football.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
Gone! All right, now, lucky 56.
Second down and 10. Darnold flushed out right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people would think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. Made his first. This now from 46 yards away. And McManus able to put it through. And that'll push the lead up to 13-0. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
And now Oakland ready to take the field. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Nice little nifty play for him there. That's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backside of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody cut. Oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Meanwhile, in Los Angeles, an update from there. The Chargers out to an early lead over the Chiefs. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
From the gun, Mayfield. And here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter. Eddie Jackson picks it.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation, but sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
Detroit! Detroit! Gone, gone! Gone, gone!
A first down throw, Darnold. That's complete, right around the 8. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
Alert! Alert! 3 down! 3 down! Banjo, banjo!
And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. It's their quarterback with his first career touchdown in his first career game. And the Saints add on to their lead. McManus's point after is good, and that pushes the lead up to an even 20. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. A first carry for Samaje Perine. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, And a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
Mayfield on first down. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And that's going to be knocked away and incomplete. And with it, time has expired on the first quarter. So second down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Watch him now, Barney. Barney.
A second down throw for Mayfield. That is incomplete. Offensively, might be thinking, what's going on here? One for their first 7 throwing the football.
So maybe they're thinking about rethinking their strategy a little bit right now with the way that they're throwing it around. Not having that success, might have to lean on the running game for a little while and see if they can get him back in form.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. And right side, hitter's got it. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Oh, boy, he fielded it right on the goal line. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Saints will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Now a carry from Mack. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Lucky 56.
Now Carlos Hyde in the game. Oh, some strong running. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus, the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
Now, Barney, Barney.
Now Mack. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 12 yards on back-to-back plays there, and that's another 1st down.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 46. Now a toss play. This is Mack. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. And they'll try the air now with Darnold. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gun, gun. Gun, gun. Detroit. Detroit.
Darnold from the gun. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And no move to get the offense off the field. They're going on 4th and 5.
Detroit. Detroit. Hot.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
They'll break the huddle here and go for it. This is 4th down. They'll run for it. High. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a 1st down. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
Detroit! Hey. Got 3.
They go play action here on 1st down. Steps away to his left. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
It's nothing like pressure to affect the accuracy and the timing of a guy trying to throw the football. And on that play, they ended up flushing him to his left, contacted him as he's trying to throw the football, and that led to the incompletion.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line.
Gun! Detroit! Gun!
Back to the air, Darnold on 2nd down. He's going to air one out. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. In for the score. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead. The fly route works for the TD ground.
And you know the receivers love to say, if we get even with the defender, we're leaving. And that's exactly what he did, all the way into the end zone. And then he was on the business end catching it once he got over the stripe.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. Typically down in the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive. But they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
First down, Mayfield. He's going to go deep for Conley. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
On first down, Darnold. Throw left side complete. That's Andrews. And he's able to get up here to the 26. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
A minute 58 to go in this first half of play. We're back to New Orleans after this. The Saints on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 8. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. Trying to lay one up deep. That's caught at the 25. And he's going to have this down deep into Oakland territory. A big play for the Saints on third down. And even 60 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Darnold from the red zone now. His throw incomplete.
Coverage was very good that time. A nice job to smother him as the ball arrived, and that ensured an incomplete pass.
And it keeps 6 points off the board. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Darnold to throw again. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. Samson Abukum in there to bury him for a loss of 11. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
Lucky 56.
Darnold down to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. And McManus able to put it through. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
And now Oakland ready to take the field. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He's going to go deep for Conley. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect. I hate to sound really negative, but at this point, an incomplete pass, almost a moral victory that it's not picked off.
Well, you may hate to sound negative, but that was negative.
It was very negative, I know, but all these first-half interceptions, it's been tough to watch.
Yeah, couldn't find a silver lining in this one. Much more like lead.
Throwing again, Mayfield on 2nd and 10. He'll get this out to his running back, Pirine. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. And Adams has it, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. They give him 27 yards on the 3rd down conversion.
Watch him now, Barney, Barney. Gun.
And again, it's Mayfield. It's complete to Chris Conley. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of the defense.
Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
4 down. Check. Detroit. Gun.
Mayfield now looking to throw on 1st down. This will be caught inside the 10. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the 2nd quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit from the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And the kick by Gonzalez is good. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend as we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports halftime report. Take it away, Coach. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they felt like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Detroit.
A 1st down throw for Mayfield. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield, a really nice pickup.
So 2nd in inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Only a gain of a yard there, but it indeed gets him a new set of downs. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39. Gun, gun. Gun, gun.
On 1st and 10, Mayfield. That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. A first down carry for Barkley. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Mayfield off the play fake. Looking deep for Adams. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Justin Reed. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Different pass rushes are designed for different things. Sometimes you want to keep the quarterback in the pocket. Sometimes you want him to flush. I don't know exactly how this one was designed, but they made sure they moved him to his right. He got out of the pocket. Unfortunately for him, he was hit as he tried to throw the ball, and that resulted in an incompletion.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. The Saints on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. A shotgun snap for Darnold. Over the middle, complete. That's Andrews. And they're able to get this one across the 35. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
On 2nd down, Darnold. Flush to his right. finding some room at midfield and avoids the contact by sliding. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A first down, a 16-yard gain.
Now, that was a whole lot of open space out in front of him, wasn't it? I'm telling you, Brandon, when things are going right, they are going right.
And everything has been going their way for the most part. I saw that lane start to develop. Boom. He took advantage of it. Now Darnold. He's going to air one out. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up, because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. The Saints on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 8.
Detroit! Detroit!
Back to throw, Darnold. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line.
When you spend your first-round pick on a pass rusher, you are absolutely counting on him to be an impact player. And there you go. Right away, he gets to the quarterback.
And guess what? Likely the first of many that we're going to see from that young man. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. And they are going for it. Darnold. And this is going to be incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And the Raiders with the football now in excellent field position. Elsewhere around the NFL, they're in the 3rd quarter in Carson. Chargers continue to pull away. They have opened that lead up even further. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. They'll try and get this run game going. This is Barkley. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Now Saquon Barkley, and able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now. I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it. Back now here live in New Orleans, where the 4th quarter will begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the 3rd quarter. Gonzalez now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. It's a foot race. He's at the 50, the 30. Touchdown, New Orleans. As his guys are in for 6, and the Saints are pouring it on. I think all teams probably like seeing that schedule for the first time, looking at week one. Oh, good, we're at home. This is why you want to be home in week one. They're looking sharp.
And I agree with you totally. That's what you want, but there carries a little extra pressure with that as well, because you and I both know protecting the home field, winning your home games is paramount in this league. So you go into it, yeah, we want it, but now you actually have to go out and prove it.
Yeah, two sides to that coin, and looking like they're going to protect it here in this one. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see.
Lucky 56. Gone. Hot.
Mayfield on first down. He's going to look deep down the field. And my goodness, another interception. Eddie Jackson picks it. And he'll return this one just shy of midfield to the 49. What? Nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just tells you about the game of football. It giveth and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times. Good starting field position for them here as they come up first and 10.
Now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. Dancing to his left. Now he'll throw deep left. This is caught inside the 15. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. They give him a gain of 38. Well, it's one thing to grab it with one hand, but when you make a catch of that distance, quite another.
Yes, sir. I mean, that one right there, we keep talking about the high-flying antics that we're seeing from receivers nowadays. Doesn't matter what spot they start in. But when it actually does happen in the heat of battle, brings me right out of my seat.
And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. 2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's second down.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave him with a third down.
Well, anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19. Detroit!
Now this time he'll look to throw. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. So they'll turn to the kicker again. He's been a busy man thus far. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And now Oakland ready to take the field.
56. Over.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And an alley to run. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
Over. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now a second down throw for Mayfield. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. The Raiders on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 6. From the gun, Mayfield. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. It's a gain of 5, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down.
Watch him now, Barney.
They'll run for it with Barkley. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
I tell you, on 4th and 1, when you're way back on your side of the field, I thought this might just be an attempt to draw them off and get the first down that way. But they were going for it the whole time, and they wind up getting it.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
Gun! Back 99 Philly, here we go.
They keep it with Barkley on 1st down. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. The Raiders on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6.
Detroit!
Here's a give to Barkley. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Time for a break. This one all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Desperation time. Mayfield on 4th down. He's going to let it fly. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Saints are going to get it back and in great shape.
56. Lucky 56.
Now it looks like he'll throw here. He's going to sling this deep downfield. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. Second down. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And he's going to go down. Back near midfield at the 49.
Well, there's no doubt in my mind that he dreamed of this. How about this for your debut? Second sack in the opener.
Yeah, it's great to get one. That's memorable. 2? Hello.
Well, he dreamed about it. He thought about it. Did he ever expect it to happen? Probably not.
He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. They'll wind up with 17 on that one, but they're still a bit short here for 4th.
And that was a nice catch, and if the goal was to get into field goal range, it certainly appears that they accomplished that.
Well, and sometimes that's what you dial up in these situations, right, when you want 3?
Well, if the goal was to get into field goal territory, even though it'll be a long attempt, I think they accomplished that.
And sometimes you have plays for that. It's not always a first down when you want 3. Get a little bit closer, making an easier shot.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to concede to the defense, and they know what you're trying to get done, and to try and get any more than that is almost folly. Take what you can get, maybe have an opportunity to put 3 points on the board.
Looking to throw. Chandler, he's going to have his running back. It's complete. So he fought off the tackle, and that effort gives him the first before he's brought down. Give them credit. They knew what they wanted to dial up on 4th. They executed it for 9 yards, and the offense stays out there. This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Operating from the gun. Chandler. He's going to go up top for the end. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by the linebacker, Demario Davis. And he is going to be stopped on the return at his own 3-yard line. So the first interception of his career under center, and you knew it was going to happen sooner or later.
It has to. And I know he feels like the world is just tumbling down at this moment, but there's got to be some veteran somewhere, some mentor that's going to tell him, hang in there, my man. Plenty more to come. Keep firing.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And he'll be taken down for a loss back at the 3. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Gone!
They'll go to Barkley again. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. And a stoppage here, a timeout before this 3rd down play takes place. As they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in the football game.
Over! 56, the mic. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Back near his goal line. Here's Mayfield. Escaping the pressure right. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
Here's the Raiders punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. And partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, week 1. You had the flyover, the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an opening day, opening game. There's just nothing like it because you really build to a crescendo. But the best part for us is that crescendo lasts for a while. Opening game here, an entire season. We get into the playoffs, to the Super Bowl. I was really excited. I could barely sleep last night. I can't imagine being a player.
So for the Saints, it's a fantastic start as they roll to a blowout victory here in the season opener. And they'll get another home date next week as the Packers will come to town. Meanwhile, for Oakland, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Baltimore Ravens. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.